Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So yesterday was International Women's Day, and what do I think about this? Well, I've made many videos on this topic before, and I feel like I'm not really keen. And I'll tell you why I'm not really keen on International Women's Day, because I'm already sick of the battle between genders that seemingly is going on at the moment, where we've got almost feminism versus red pill, and we just have a lot of kind of hatred for the opposite gender. And even when it comes to dating advice, it's how to get them to chase you. It's never how can I serve my partner, or it's very rarely how can I serve my partner, how can we be in a joyful union. And I would love to see more of a kind of people's day, because I feel these days can be very separating at the point where society is at, and they focus more on separation than they focus on unity. And that's just my personal feeling on International Women's Day. I know people probably celebrate it with the best of intentions and everyone's free to celebrate what they want, but for me personally, I would rather see International Union Day, where we put our differences aside and we learn to encourage and build the opposite gender, whilst showing sympathy and support for the opposite gender, to have more unity. I think we're past the point now in the West, in my opinion, where we need to kind of desperately fight for women's rights. There was a time for that, and I think we've kind of moved past it now, and we've almost swinging to the other side of the pendulum, where we want to be superior to the opposite gender, or we want the opposite gender to like, we're so focused on the way that they treat us rather than us treat them. And of course that's a two-way system, and it only works when both people are focused on the same thing. They're both focused on serving one another and being in a really beautiful, uplifting space where we all uplift one another. So my hope for International Women's Day and International Men's Day is that we use it as more of a day to think about union and working together, rather than thinking of women and men, although we have differences, as being these separate polarities that we almost want to get one up on or fight against all the time, or really see as so separate. At the core of men and women, I honestly believe we're very, very similar. Like, the core needs of us as humans is very, very similar, irrespective of gender. So yeah, it would be my wish that we can focus a little bit more on that, and trying to put down some of the weapons and self-serving mentalities on both sides. And when it comes to the types of relationships people want, I also believe we should allow for preference. You know, it's okay if somebody wants a woman to be in the home all day, and there's a woman that wants to be in the home all day. That's fantastic. That's a preference. We don't have to argue and fight against it. The same as that doesn't work for me. I like to, you know, have my own thing going on, and that's my preference. And then I meet people that match that preference. You know, every single relationship has a preference. Like for me, I personally like self-employed people, because I'm self-employed. So I like that ability to be able to travel when we want, spend that time together. And although, you know, I don't like to put conditions on things, that is a big thing for me. That is a preference. Whereas that's not a preference for some people. And we have to be okay with preferences. Somebody wanting a woman to be at home all day shouldn't anger you. There's actually nothing wrong with it. It's just a preference. As long as we live in a free world and no one can force us to do that, then, you know, that's fine. Let them get on with it. Let them find their match. And if they can't find a match that wants to do that, then I guess they're going to have to change their preferences, right? But we are entitled to preferences without getting angry and trying to force somebody else's preferences to be like ours. As long as everyone is happy and everyone is, you know, within the law, allowed to be in the type of relationship they want to be, let people choose. Let people choose. If it's an unrealistic expectation, they just won't find anybody. So they're going to have to change their standards at some point if they want to be in a relationship. But I've got one of my lovely union paintings. Well, lovely might be a personal preference too, but one of my union paintings behind, because for International Women's Day just gone, I want to celebrate on bringing the two genders together and having Union Day. I don't think we probably have a Union Day, although we seem to have every other day under the sun, but maybe we should have a Union Day, and that would encompass all these days. Anyway, I hope everyone's good, and I'll speak soon. Bye bye.